All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples for his younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutations. Hopefully, they got there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. All right, and what I want to get into, okay, today, just out moving around, just some things I've been meditating on, as of late. We are in a society, this captivity is pretty much, a hands-on, all right, simulation that the Lord has us in, and we're constantly learning on how not to be. We see society in the condition that it's in, and the Lord has us, as believers, beginning with the men, all right, whom Lord will, we'll be those joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. We're seeing the earth in the condition, all right, of degeneracy, you know, under Esau Edom. We're seeing the earth just in a complete, all right, condition, all right, of degeneracy, and it's getting worse. And the Lord has allowed us, to just simmer. All right, that's why the scriptures speak of how Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Because the more, that we conform to righteousness by default, there's more of a hatred, for the current society, even for, the old ways that we had, because as we have come into Yahushua, all things are become new, as we become those new creatures, everything, all right, is becoming new. And it's a continual process, of us, becoming the new creatures, and as the men, of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah being groomed to be judges of the earth, this is pretty much like a course. This captivity is like a course, like you will have different, college courses. You will learn, particular subjects. You have a course for this and a course for that. Well, this captivity, has been a course to where we see society, operating in a very low state, in the beast, like nature. Okay, it's very degenerate. All right, it's very backwards. Esau has created a society that's extremely counterproductive, especially for our people. Especially for Israelites, man. And that's why when you read in the book of Ezekiel, Ezekiel 37:1, and it says, "The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, and it says, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones." Okay? And caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. All right, and that represents us, okay, in this lower state over here in the west, man. We was those very dry bones. We was extremely spiritually dehydrated, because when you don't have the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, you're operating off of an impulse. Okay, you're operating off the flesh. You're operating off emotions. The spirit of the Lord gives us reasoning. When the spirit of the Lord is not present, then there's no reason. It's just a bunch of randomness, man. Okay? That's why when Adam received that breath of life, he was able to name the animals and keep the garden, which, the earth was a paradise. All right? But he was situated east in Eden, which is Jerusalem. So before Adam, all right, was able to put the earth in order, he had to receive that breath. Okay? And in order for Adam to rule in righteousness and put everything in order, he had to receive that breath, which is that understanding. Okay? But without that breath, okay, you operating off of impulse, and you operating off the flesh, okay? You operating off emotions, and reason and logic, okay, is on the back burner, man. Okay? And this is what we see amongst our people today, okay, is that you have a remnant, all right, as we prophesied, as the word has went out, the spirit of life has entered into the remnant. Okay, and that's where you have the second, title of the lesson, the rehabilitation. Okay, the rehabilitation. So you have a remnant of those dry bones being rehabilitated, man. Okay, through this word. All right, and it says, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord, thou knowest. Okay, because Ezekiel seen our people in a very low state. You look at our people and the so-called, they call black culture. Okay, Ezekiel is seeing this, and the Lord asked, can these bones live? Ezekiel like, only thou know. Like that, like, Ezekiel pretty much seen our people, in such a lower state, that it was appalling, because we fell, a very long way. All right, and that valley of dry bones, it's speaking of America, man. All right, where westernization, okay, creates a culture where everything is backwards. Okay, so you go to the book of Job. Let's get this in the book of Job, chapter 10. All right, this is the book of Job, chapter 10, verse 1. It says, before I go whence, I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. Okay, and this is speaking of America, man, because America is the epicenter, as the scriptures say, the mother of harlot, the mother of abominations. Okay, America is the motherland of the degenerate culture, okay, that dominates the West, and even countries in the East, Moab, all right, even India, all these different, America, okay, is, like I say, the motherland of the degenerate culture that dominates, the earth, especially over here in the West. Okay, so this is a land of darkness and the shadow of death. Okay, a land of darkness is darkness itself, and the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is darkness. Okay, it says without any order. Okay, emphasize on that, without any order. Okay, and that affects who the most? Our people, the tribes, because under westernization, this is where you see the curses really manifest on our people. And then we always talk about, when you go from the 60s until now, that's really when we start to see the curse of the evil eye, towards the brother, the evil eye towards the wife having the evil eye, okay, towards the husband and the children, okay, the tender and delicate woman, okay, that, being taken away, which is going to the feminine nature, okay, that our woman had, that will be taken away. Okay, so you got this, this masculine, aggressive, version of a woman, hence the term nigger woman. Okay, she's a woman, but she has the mannerism, all right, of a nigger, man. Okay, and on the flip side, you have the men. Okay, they're men, but they have the mannerisms of women. Okay, they're effeminate, all right, soft, but that goes to All right, we in the land that there's no order. Okay, we our people exist in a culture where there's no order. Okay, and the light is as dark. And that's one of the things I want to emphasize on, how the light is as darkness, man. Okay, because when you, all right, it says yeah, it says where the light is darkness, because the things that are righteous, okay, are looked down upon amongst our culture. You know, a man, that's not a street nigga, he's looked at, okay, as irrelevant, as a lame, as a square. Okay, a woman, okay, that's not, a boss diva, boss chick, okay, or a hot girl, or a strong, independent black woman, and ain't listening to no man. She, what they call a pick me or a pick Misha. She's, righteousness is a darkness, man. Righteousness is mocked, okay? But degeneracy is paraded, okay? That's why when you go here, let's get this real quick. When you go to Isaiah 5, all right, this Isaiah 5. Isaiah 5 and 20, all right? It says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light. And see, this is the degenerate culture of our people, where they put darkness as light. Okay? The things that are dark, the things that breed death and confusion and dysfunction, our people put that as the way to be. Like, that's the culture of our people. Like, that's all our people, pretty much. See, the dog. It's all good. Ain't no problem. Ain't no problem, my man. Yeah, it's all good. Little ankle biters, goddamn. I was untouched though, shit. But anyway, going back to the point. All right. Uh, when you look at the culture of our people, the things that breed this confusion. I mean, that they breed dysfunction, confusion, chaos, and death. Those are the things, that are paraded. So reading on just to finish this, and we're gonna expound on that. We're gonna expound on those things. It says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Okay? Because when you go into how people operate, okay, they put bitter, okay, for sweet and sweet for bitter, because you gotta think, like, in the ancient world, going back to King David. King David was praised because he was a great warrior and he conquered, heathen nations, you know. And guess what? The nation of Israel, his people, they benefited off his military campaigns, and he was praised. Even King Saul was praised, before he went left, because he, had military campaigns. Because even when King David died, so like when King Saul died, King David, told the people to mourn because King Saul won some victories and he spoiled, particularly heathen nations, and, our people won, the nation won, So those men, all right, was praised. You had Gideon, okay, Gideon, all right, he was praised because what? And, you go to the book of Judges, those different judges that was raised up to deliver our people, from the heathens, okay, those men was praised, okay? And that's what they was famous and what they was known for. But in this society, it's the men that hurt the nation the most that are praised, okay? That get praised the most and get all the perks, and Like this kingdom showed, I came to the conclusion that degenerates win. The more degenerate you are, the more you win in this society. The more you praise. Okay? But we have a culture to where we praise men that kill their own nation. Whether it's through gun violence or whether it's through drugs. Okay? Or whatever it might be. We praise men, okay, for the amount of adultery they can commit. Okay? This is we have a culture that praises degeneracy, man. Okay? It's completely backwards. You see? And even when you think about how, because I was doing some research, last night. I was up, couldn't sleep that much, so I was just thinking on some things. So I started looking things up, doing some research, and it was inspired by this movie, this series, I watched, before I laid down, dealing with the French Empire during the time of King Louis I want to say the 14th. I had to see. All right, it might be King Louis the 14th, but they were speaking about sending military personnel to the New World, and he was like, when his brother, he made his brother part, of his council, and his brother came up with the idea, why not send, the prisoners over there, because the jails are overwhelmed anyway, and we have to provide, victuals for them every day. So that'll kill two birds with one stone. You will send, these prisoners over there because they're disposable, okay, and that'll get them off our books, so we don't have to house and feed them on a daily basis, okay. So they went to the prisons, and they just was getting random men to send them over to the Americas, all right, for exploration missions, okay. And I looked it up. You go back to the 1700s, even in England, because there was a few European nations, that started doing it. All right, you had the French, and then I was seeing, with England, how, they sent about 30,000, convicts and prisoners over here to the new colonies, to knock down the prison population, okay, and to help, fight off the natives, which was Israelites, in the new colonies, so they sent those prisoners as disposable bodies, so they looked at the prisoners, as nothing, okay, men, serving life, which that's off, we'll talk about that in a minute, okay, but men, serving all these years in life, okay, and it got to the point to the colonies stopped accepting, these ships, that had these convicts, man. They would turn the ships around like, nah, man, y'all not finna keep dumping these niggas on us, man. And they stopped accepting, the ships with the convicts, and I say all that to say this: the prisoners, okay, didn't have value. They didn't look, the prisoners was just looked at as disposable men. Okay, they didn't have value. But in black culture, okay, the prison Jake is a god. And just to show you how backwards, the culture that we have in America as a people, the prison Jake in America is a god. Okay, he gets the king treatment. Like, that's an honorable thing amongst our people. You look at other societies, and you see how they handled the prisoners. The prisoners wasn't, men of high renown. Like now, there's men that are famous, in prison, man. The Larry Hoovers. You had people. You had the movie about, what it was, Tookie Williams. Okay, I think Jamie Foxx, Redemption. Okay, here it is. You have these movies that glorify, you know, Jake in prison. Now, I'm gonna say this: every Jake, because there's a lot of our people, that's wrongly convicted. Okay, that's in there, and then you have Jake that go to prison, make some mistakes, and he go, and it's a lot of them Jakes come out and and they be on the ball, never go back, and they get their life together. They become entrepreneurs, or they become productive, people, okay, in society. So this ain't a shot, just because you went to prison. Like, we under curses, and Jake, grew up in certain circumstances, but this is to show the value scale, how what our people value within this degenerate culture. Just show you how off we were as a people and how backwards we were. Because you have people that and this is speaking from experience, man. We all grew up around Jake. We got cousins and people that we seen, and they pretty much become career criminals. They become career criminals, and they go in and go out. But guess what? They're still valued within black culture. Okay, because like just experiences I had someone I grew up with. They started going to prison. Like at 18. And they would go in and do years, and when he would come out, he had 2 or 3 women that he could just go lay up with, and he would get them pregnant and go to prison again, and he would get out again. All right, he have another child or 2 and go back to prison, But the thing is that he always had somewhere to go. Like, he always had somewhere to lay up, and there's nothing required of him. Like, he don't work or nothing. Like, he just can come home and go lay up around these different women and produce more degenerate, seed, and go to prison and come back, do the same thing. I know a woman, okay, that, had just started getting herself together, and she was a correctional officer, and she started to deal with one of the prisoners, and she got fired, and she began to start losing things because that was a decent job and she was there. you know so what you had, she lost her job, and what did she do? She moved the nigga in. Like, she moved the nigga in. It's like, goddamn. And then you have the situation. I seen the situation to where someone that was close to me, they was dealing with a woman, and they pretty much were holding it down, helping with the children and all these things. But soon as her baby daddy got out of prison, she went right back to him. All right, and the man that was doing, okay, hey, he was just out there, man. And it's just so many different situations, and it's like, goddamn, like, cause them niggas got it made. Charleston White be he be speaking on a lot of things, which I know, the hell with that nigga, but he makes some points. He got a unique perspective, due to his, life experiences, which I know he offended brothers. And if he don't repent, he gonna be tormented for that, But anyway, he do make particular points. And he talks about how, those prison niggas, they don't have to do nothing. When they get out, they're not required to work, they're not required to take on any responsibilities. They just put up. They pretty much, like, a lot of them niggas get king treatment, man. And I know, y'all probably seen that tweet, because the brother, elder brother, Karatazak out in Vegas, he did the video dealing with this woman. She posted her cousin in prison, and he was in prison for three murders, so he had three life sentences. And you had the women on there saying, look, they were trying to see, they were asking the woman, is he single? They was asking, where can they send pictures to? And you had one woman said, I'll buy him a house. And it's like, God damn. Is this the goddamn Twilight Zone? Like sometimes you just look at our culture and you be speechless, like, is this the goddamn Twilight Zone? you know? Because like he's in there for three murders, and who you think he killed? He killed three Jakes. You see? But you just had the women willing to provide and to do so much, okay, for a prisoner. You got correctional officers, these women COs, they're getting pregnant by men with 10 and 20 years. And it's like, God damn. But they're just going to the point that shows you how backwards, our thinking is as a nation. And then when you go into things like this, it makes you understand the law more, because you go into the statistics. There's 800,000 men that are locked up. So it's like, and it's in federal prison, most of them, Jake. They say out of those men, 92% of those men, all right, are fathers. Okay, 92% of those men, all right, that are incarcerated are fathers. Because them niggas get out, they lay seed, they go back. They get out again, maybe, they lay seed and they go back. But see, you got to understand, on a more spiritual level, the Lord has, the 2/3 reproducing itself for destruction. And also, on another note, the Lord put the spirit on women to be attracted to these degenerate Jake, and that showed us as men how we did towards the Lord, because we, went after the heathen. Okay, here it is, because like when we was in our land and we was in our sovereignty, we was pretty much like a woman that was put up that didn't have to work. Okay, she was put up, everything was provided for. She had servants, she had, resources. She had, she was just the lady of the house. Okay, and that's what our status was in the earth. We was like the lady of the house. Okay, that's why even in Isaiah 47, when it speaks about Babylon, all right, falling, it says, "Thou shalt no more be called a lady." Okay, that represents a status. Okay, and when we was the Lord's wife, when we was in order, okay, that we had the status of the lady of the house. Okay, and it's like the feminine way of saying Lord. You have a Lord. If your husband is a Lord, your feminine title, okay, would be a lady. Okay, so we was in that position as a nation, but we gravitated to degenerate culture. We gravitated as a nation unto the degenerate culture, man, and we fell from their glory. Okay, and so when we see the woman, in this spirit of gravitating towards the degenerate culture and making mockery, of a woman that's a homemaker, okay, that shows how we look to the Lord as a nation, man. You like, look at this, because even we go to Ezekiel 16 and we go to Ezekiel 16, the Lord spoke about how we went to whoring after other gods, how he pretty much had us set up, he decked us out, as a nation, and we went a whoring after other gods. And he said, hell, well, y'all playing the harlot, but y'all ain't even getting paid. Like y'all pretty much, he was calling us some silly hoes, man. He was like, y'all playing the harlot, but y'all ain't even getting paid. Y'all paying to play the harlot. Like y'all can't even do that right. So you see the backwardness of, the so-called black culture. You see the backwardness of it. Okay, that shows you, how off our thinking was, to go and serve other guys, man. Okay, guys that couldn't even provide. Really, they didn't even. Guys that don't exist. Cause you gotta think about it. If you have loyalty to a nigga in prison, you're pretty much having loyalty to a nigga that don't even exist. You know, his capabilities are reduced to nothing. You see, like, goddamn, what sense, you know? But as I said, everything had to play out, and this ain't, a thing of, judging decisions, because we all played a part in our people becoming degenerate. You know, us as men, we, just going around, randomly dealing with women with no intent to marry. So we played a part in the promiscuous culture, that we have to, that we dwell in today. You know, men and women, we all played a part, in the dysfunction, okay, of our people. Some more than others. So this is not a thing of judging, past decisions. Okay, it just is what it is. Okay, it's just going into it, because if we are going to be the judges of the earth, we have to understand the flaws of this current society. So that's why we go into these things, man, to bring out the flaws of this current society. Okay, so we can understand. Okay, when we get in the power of what not to allow happen, and that's why Jake be talking about the heathens need to be saved. Man, Jake need to be saved. Okay, Jake, we need to be saved, because the heathens, they have family structure, they have generational wealth. Okay, you go to those countries, especially in the East, they don't allow single women to get apartments and shit like that. That's a no-go. Okay, like the things that's normal in westernization, especially in black culture and other cultures, that's a no-go. Okay, because a lot of these nations, they deal with America, financially. Okay, and they're all these elites of these other nations, they in cahoots, with this NWO, financially. Okay, but there are certain customs and certain society norms that they don't allow. Okay, now we need the rehabilitation more than anyone, man. All of us, man, because the elect have begun the process of being rehabilitated, but ultimately we need this place completely destroyed, and then we're going to be delivered as a people. And see, this makes us look forward to the good news, man. When you understand how jacked up we are as a people, we don't need to concentrate on no other nation but us, man. Okay, and the Lord has it to where now we just focus on the elect. Okay, and I want to get this here because, like I said, the Lord had all these things to play out. Because even going back to a prison population, this is going back to now the law makes sense, because in our customs, okay, you didn't have prisons. All right, back in ancient Israel, you didn't have a prison, okay, full of people. Jake's just stacked up in prison. This Jake doing 7 years. This Jake doing 10. This Jake doing life, 3 life sentence. Nah, man. There were certain things you would be put to death. Okay, because you need to be deleted. And one of the main things was to stop it from becoming a culture, and then to stop this nigga from reproducing himself in the earth. Okay, that's why you a lazy nigga. You will stone him, okay, early. A lazy son, by 12, 13, 14, it ain't clicking for him. He's not trying to take on the trade of his father or the trade of his uncle, okay? He got to get out of here, man. Because our forefathers had trades, man, okay? And those trades brought value, okay, to the family, and it brought value to the nation, and ultimately brought value to the earth. Okay, that's why you had men and women that were so good at particular things, because they was they was a third, fourth generation carpenters, man. You had communities of carpenters, communities of embroiderers, communities of physicians, okay, communities of farmers and agriculture. Okay, so imagine if you are a carpenter and you a fourth, fifth generation carpenter, how much knowledge you gonna have? Okay, but in this society, going back to the backwardness of this society, you have our people. They're how you doing? They're third and fourth, okay, generational dope boys, man. Third and fourth generation single mothers. Third and fourth generational, you know, jack boys, man. Those things are not supposed to exist as a career. Okay, this is what I'm like. You have those jakes that go to prison, then they come out and get themselves together. But then you have jakes that make being a criminal a career. Okay, it ain't supposed to be. All right, no such thing as a jack boy, and that's your career. Like niggas make that their career. Okay, that nigga supposed to be eventually put to death. Okay, that's why you were put to death early, so that didn't exist. Okay, a dope boy, because that's witchcraft. You're a dope boy. It's witchcraft. Yeah, it's cool. You know, some of them J's cool as hell. You know, them dope boys. They see you at the club. You know, they call you to this section. You know, buy you a bottle. You know. You see. But then when you look at the damage that they're doing to the nation, okay, for them to be able to afford the bottle, you know, give out some bikes, you know, for Christmas, which that's, you know, going to that's off, okay, you know, for them to afford to do that, how many families have to suffer, okay? But that's witchcraft, and what's the punishment of a witch? Okay, they will be put to death. Okay, you suffer not a wish to live. Okay, so it's not supposed to be a whole neighborhood full of dope boys. Okay, that's not going to exist in the kingdom, man. Okay, this the state that our people are in is a very degenerate and backward state, man. Where we value the wrong things. You know, we put emphasis on the wrong things. Okay, you know what's the little chick, Yolanda? You know, here it is. She has a man that's working and providing, and she's taking out of his money and sending it to a nigga in prison, man. Like you can't make it up. Like it ain't like it ain't like we hating on them prison niggas. Like nah, like look at the results. Like look at what's really going on. Like it ain't like we won't even, you know, we talking down on them so we can have a player E. Like nah, we not even tripping on, you know, we passed that, man. You know, like America ain't got nothing to offer me, you know, just speaking. You know, America really ain't got you know, like I don't have no expectations on nothing in America, man. You know, like that we beyond that, but we just speaking on the facts of what we see, what's going on. Okay? Yeah, Dante. You know, y'all remember Dante got there, you know? And Dante come home, you think he gonna have to work? Hell no. Put up. Okay? He gonna get Yolanda pregnant. And that simple ass nigga gonna take care of Yolanda and that baby. While Dante gonna do another 2-3 years. Alright? And Dante gonna be the richest nigga in the prison. Okay? These just reality, man. It's shit funny, but it's the reality, man. Okay? Because that's just, you know, in a degenerate empire, degenerates win. Okay? Because it's a society where, like you say, when you go into the hierarchy of black culture, you have the working man is at the very bottom. Then you just have the regular, you know, Pookie and Ray Ray, just the random niggas in the hood. And then you have the athletes, the rappers, and you know them real, you know them real, you know, dope boy niggas is really getting money. You know, they're pretty much, you know, on the same level as them athletes and rappers and entertainers. Okay, and then above all right, you have the prison Jake. Okay, because when you say, well, what you mean? Well, the lower you are on the hierarchy of black culture, the more they're suspected of. Okay, when the working man, like all these expectations that Eve be having, like I don't want to go to the Cheesecake Factory, and I don't want to do this, and you got to be this. Okay, that's She's saying that to the working man. Okay, you got to make this much. You got to, she's saying it to the working man. All these expectations. Okay, but when it comes to Pookie and Ray Ray, all right, which are most of the baby fathers, they don't have them expectations for them guys, man. Okay, and when it comes to these celebrities and athletes and them real jakes that get money, in the streets, them they just happy to be around them. They don't have that no expectation for them. Okay, and with the prison nigga, cause see, even them rappers and athletes, they still gotta have a certain status, to get, those perks, the access to the women. Like they still, Jake been playing football since he was 5. Okay, all them practices and torn ACLs, and you get to the league and his prize is the leftover nigga woman. So them niggas still have to do something to get those perks, okay, of the access to those women, okay. But the prison nigga, no requirements. No, the nigga don't even have to be free. The nigga don't have to be free. The horn blew. Yep, the nigga don't even have to be free. Listen what I'm saying. Now I gotta talk like them old folks. That listen what I'm saying. Now listen to what I'm saying. The niggas don't even have to be free. Let that sink in, man. Okay. No requirements. They don't have to have no cars, no house. They don't have to have they don't have to make nothing a year. They don't have to make 120,000 a year. Okay. There's no they don't. It's no requirements where they have to take somebody on a date. Okay. Nothing. There's no requirements for them niggas, man. Them niggas is gods. Like I just, you think about this. I'm like, it clicked. Like I be thinking about this shit for hours. Meditating. Them niggas is guys, man. It is, but at the end of the day, I want to get this scripture too, because it had to be like that. It got to be like that because the 2/3 had to reproduce itself, man. Which you had the elect that come out of it, okay. But ultimately, the 2/3, all right, are the main ones that's what reproducing in the earth amongst so-called black culture. Okay, now let's get that in Wisdom of Solomon. All right, and y'all let me know if I'm tripping. Please let me know if I'm tripping. I might overthought the shit. Let me know if I'm tripping. All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon. I want to say 4. Okay, and yeah, I started 3. All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 3. It says, but the multiplying brood, okay, of the ungodly shall not thrive, nor take deep rooting from bastard lips, nor lay any fast foundation. Okay, so the multiplying of the brood. Now the brood, when you go into that word brood, let me look it up. That word brood. All right. This is the word brood. Okay, it said the multiplying of the brood. Remember, it's speaking about Israelites. It says a family of young animals. Okay, especially a bird produced at one. It said produced at one hatching or birth. Okay, so you go into the brood, it goes into the offspring, but it's used to describe animals' offspring because black culture taught us to operate in the flesh. Okay, because even when you go into like the single mother culture, And that goes back to Astaroth, all right, which really goes back to Semiramis, and what you had, because even that whole immaculate birth, the birth, without a father, that's what you see like with that single mother culture, because it's all these children are constantly appearing, but there's no man there. Okay, that goes back to that pagan deity of Semiramis and Astaroth, man, the goddess of fertility. Okay, so it's like she's able to produce children herself because all these children are popping up, but there's no man there. Okay, and even when you go to Nimrod, which was the son and the husband of Semiramis. Okay, she married her son, and what do you see? What they call today is it sonsbins? And that's what they call Jake. These sonsbins. How the woman to treat the son as if he's the husband. Okay, and then um, you have Nimrod. Okay, even when you go into Christmas, because the Christmas tree represents a rod, an erect penis. Okay, so what are you doing? You're giving gifts to Nimrod's okay penis. Like when you worshiping Christmas and you're going to put those presents under that tree, you're giving gifts, all right, and you're kneeling down to Nimrod's penis. Okay, and these men that are not required to do nothing, that's a form of worshiping the penis, because all that's required of them is what? Okay, is sex. All that's required of those men that get to lay up is sex, you know? And all that goes back to pagan culture and idolatry, to where, like I say, you're giving gifts, to Nimrod, man, to his rod. Okay? Just because, of the rod, he gets a tribute. Okay? So these things are rooted deep. The black culture is rooted deep in paganism, man. Okay? But you keep going on, and I'm gonna end it here. Okay? This is Wisdom of Solomon 4:3. It said, "But the multiplying brood of the ungodly shall not thrive, nor take root from bastard lips, nor lay any fast foundation." Yeah, and that's why, we have a culture that has no foundation. It's just a bunch of randomness, man. And children are reproduced, in the form of beasts. Like you go into the scriptures, it says that a wise man layeth up for his children's children. Okay, you gotta understand what that means. That means that the father of your father was thinking about your well-being before you existed. He was making decisions to make sure that you would be in a good case, all right, before you existed. Okay, a wise man layeth up for his children's children. That means that means he was moving not based on himself and based on his lust, but he was making decisions based off people that didn't even exist yet. Okay, but in nigger culture, it's just a bunch of randomness, man. It's just a bunch of orgasms and children just pop out everywhere. It's just a bunch of orgasms and children just popping out, and damn, I'm pregnant. Damn, I got the bitch pregnant. Damn, that's what it is. That's how most of us got here. All right, we here because all right, how your mama look and they goddamn cheetah print, after the LL Cool J concert, all right, or your daddy, he pulled up in that T-top with that with that hang time, that Jerry curl, okay, with them 412s. All right, and voila, goddamn, Darrell. All right, Darrell, that's your origin story. you know. So keep reading on. It says, Wisdom of Solomon 4:4 says, for though they flourish in branches for a time, yet standing not last, they shall be shaken with the wind. And that's the nuclear destruction. So it's prophesied for the, our people to multiply, like animals, to breed like animals, but it's an unfruitful vine. And it said, though they prosper for a moment, because these niggas, like I say, these niggas been winning. The degenerate nigga has been winning. Okay? All right? And it says, they shall be shaken with the wind. That's nuclear destruction. And through the force of the winds, they shall be rooted out. So this destruction is going to root out everything that this degenerate culture has bred in the earth. That's why scriptures speak about, don't worry about the multitude that perish in vain. Okay? Don't worry about the multitude that was born in vain. And it said, verse 5, it says, the imperfect branches shall be broken off. That means whole lineages. Okay, these third and fourth generation dope boys, all this shit gonna be from grandma, great grandma, granddaddy, all this shit gonna be rooted out through this destruction, man. Okay, great grandmother, all this finna be rooted out, man. Okay, when you break off something from the branches, and it says, for a time yet standing not last. It said, verse 5 said, the imperfect branches shall be broken off, the fruit unprofitable, nor ripe to eat. Meat for nothing. Okay, and this is that society that was born in vain, that was meat for nothing. And that's why the rehabilitation process is so important for us, as believers. Okay, because when you operate, without the spirit, you become useless to Yahweh Shema Shai. And he's finna get what the scriptures say, how he's gonna, purge everything that offend in his kingdom. Okay, the Most High hate niggas. Okay, the black community love, these niggas. Yahweh Shai hate these niggas. He hate, okay, these out of order women and these badass kids, man. Okay, the scripture say how he gonna remove everything out of his kingdom that offend. Okay, so a lot of degenerates was able to reproduce. All right, it was just for their destruction. So yeah, I think that's the point, man. I done said enough, man. I'm just a messenger, man. I got time to think, man. So I be thinking about everything. So you know, yeah, that's the point. So Lord will you, brothers, and all right, you sisters edified. Till next time, I'm gonna say shalom, Kwon Yashala, Abba Baba, DK soon, shalom.